Have you ever opened your eyes in the middle of the night and instinctively reached for the clock, only to see a number beginning with 3? Not once, not by accident, but repeatedly, as if your body were following a silent schedule. The house is quiet, the air feels different, and for a few seconds you are completely awake, almost alert in a way that feels intentional rather than random. Most people dismiss this as stress, anxiety, or light sleep, yet the experience does not feel chaotic. It feels precise. Tonight, we are not approaching this from superstition or fear, and we are not turning it into something mystical or dramatic. Instead, we are going back nearly 2,000 years to understand how ancient communities interpreted this exact pattern. They did not panic when they woke in thick hours of the night. They did not assume something was wrong. They believed night had structure, rhythm, and meaning. And once you understand how they saw this hour, you may never treat it as accidental again. Did you know that waking up in the middle of the night used to be completely normal? Before electricity, segmented sleep was the standard. Historical records from ancient Jewish, Greco-Roman, and Christian communities all describe it. People would have a first sleep after sunset, wake up for a while, and then go back for a second sleep until dawn. That waking period, often between 3 and 4 a.m., wasn't seen as a problem. It was an expected part of the night. Ancient cultures even divided the night into watches. The final watch before dawn was considered the most peaceful and clear. Early Christian monks used this time for prayer and reflection, calling it Instead of fighting wakefulness, they structured it. This wasn't about being restless. It was about being in tune with the body's natural rhythms. So next time you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., remember you're just tapping into an ancient human pattern. Why this hour feels neurologically different. Modern neuroscience unintentionally confirms what ancient observers noticed. Human sleep operates in cycles of roughly 90 minutes, moving between deep sleep, light sleep, and rapid eye movement stages. If someone falls asleep between 10:30 p.m. and 11:20 p.m., one of the lighter transitional phases often aligns with the window between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. During this time, core body temperature reaches its lowest point, melatonin remains active, and cortisol begins its gradual rise in preparation for morning. The result is a narrow neurological threshold. You are not fully immersed in deep sleep, yet you are not fully awake. Awareness during this threshold can feel unusually sharp because the mind is less burdened by daytime stimuli. Emotional reactivity is lower, environmental noise is minimal, and the nervous system is suspended in a quieter state. Ancient teachers did not have laboratory data, but they observed patterns carefully. They recognized that this hour carried a quality of stillness that could either drift into wandering thought or be directed intentionally. Their solution was simple. If you wake, sit briefly, breathe steadily, recite a short line, or remain silent for a few moments, then return to rest. The structure was minimal because the goal was not intensity, but alignment. The watch was never described as dangerous or ominous. It was described as available. When ignored, the mind often fills the silence with anxiety or distraction. When guided, the same silence becomes steady and grounded. The difference lies not in the hour itself, but in how it is used. What to do the next time it happens if you wake again between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. The first step is simple. Remove urgency. Do not assume something is wrong. Do not analyze the clock with frustration. Instead, observe without judgment. Keep the lights dim. Avoid reaching for your phone, as bright light immediately signals your brain to transition toward full wakefulness. Sit upright for 1 or 2 minutes and breathe slowly through the nose. Steady and allow your body to remain calm rather than alert. If you choose to use a short phrase, keep it measured and familiar, something grounding rather than emotional. The purpose is not intensity, but alignment. After several minutes, return to rest deliberately, lying down with the intention of continuing sleep rather than forcing it. Even if sleep does not return immediately, maintain stillness. Ancient practice emphasized patience. The body often resumes its natural rhythm when the mind does not interfere. Over time, many people notice that structured use of this hour reduces anxiety associated with waking. The experience becomes predictable and therefore less disruptive. Importantly, this does not mean everyone must treat 3 a.m. as sacred or significant. The teaching simply acknowledges that this transitional window carries a different quality than midday awareness. When treated calmly, it supports recovery rather than undermining it. When dramatized, it invites tension. The wisdom preserved across centuries is not that the hour contains mystery, but that it contains opportunity for quiet steadiness. The next time your eyes open in the dark and the clock begins with 3, you will know that this pattern was once understood, structured, and used without fear. The psychological impact of structured wakefulness: when a person understands that a recurring waking pattern has historical precedent, anxiety often decreases immediately. Uncertainty amplifies stress, but context reduces it. The ancient approach worked not only because of timing, but because it replaced ambiguity with intention. Instead of lying awake wondering why sleep is broken, the individual performs a brief, steady action. That action signals safety to the nervous system. Research on sleep interruption shows that stress about wakefulness is frequently more disruptive than the wakefulness itself. When the mind resists the experience, cortisol rises more sharply, making it harder to return to rest. When the experience is accepted and gently structured, the body often settles faster. The watch tradition anticipated this dynamic long before laboratory studies described it. It treated wakefulness as neutral rather than threatening. This neutrality is powerful. A neutral response lowers mental friction. Lower friction preserves energy. Even if full sleep does not return immediately, the body remains in a restorative posture rather than entering a stress cycle. Over several nights, this shift in response can recondition the experience entirely. Instead of dreading the hour, you recognize it. Instead of reacting, you follow a simple rhythm. The psychological benefit is subtle but steady. You are no longer fighting the night. You are cooperating with it. This cooperation is the heart of the ancient discipline. It does not promise extraordinary revelation or dramatic insight. It promises steadiness. In a world that treats every interruption as a problem to solve, steadiness itself becomes a rare form of strength. What to remember when the hour comes if, there is one idea to carry forward. It is this: waking between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. is not a modern anomaly. It is a pattern observed, structured, and used long before our era of artificial light and constant stimulation. Ancient communities divided the night into watches and treated this final interval before dawn as quiet and available. They did not dramatize it. They did not fear it. They applied minimal structure and returned to rest. Modern neuroscience now confirms that this hour often aligns with lighter sleep transitions and unique hormonal rhythms. That combination creates a threshold state of awareness, neither fully asleep nor fully awake. When misunderstood, this threshold can feel unsettling. When understood, it becomes steady. The key differences are restraint and intention. Keep the environment dim. Avoid immediate stimulation. Use a brief grounding action if needed, and return to sleep without urgency. Over time, the experience often becomes less disruptive and more predictable. The body retains older rhythms, even when culture forgets them. If this pattern has been happening to you, there is no need to label it as abnormal. It may simply be an inherited rhythm of the night. If you found this exploration helpful, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next restoration of an ancient practice. In the coming days, I will also be sharing a structured guide that gathers these forgotten rhythms into one organized study for those who want to go deeper.